Did we mention that tomorrow is the 1 year anniversary of the ENF? I just think sentiment's completely different. It's a completely 180 from where we were a year ago. We were pretty much, I felt like we were pretty dead, I would say. It was like what led up to the ENF, like reaching consensus with the network and how that all went down. It was like some of the darkest days. And now I feel like over the last couple of weeks, especially with the Antelope launch and things like that, Yield Plus launching on Sunday, I feel like it's a new day. It's a new EOS. We did a tweet like a couple weeks ago, and a lot of people started saying it was the anniversary. So Eve announced the plans for an EOS Foundation on August 5th. So that was like the last thing people were celebrating, because I think we put out a Twitter thread for that. Mm-hmm. So that was the date that it first became public that we're going to try to do this. We're going to try to go to the block producers. We're going to try to reach consensus and try to make this thing happen, because if we can't make it happen, then things are dead, the way things were headed. August 25th, which is tomorrow, that was the date that the multi-sig was executed by the EOS block producers. And with that multi-sig, it transferred legacy RAM and name fees to the EOSIO.grants account, which is owned by the BPs with the owner key, but the active key is the ENF. So that happened exactly 1 year ago tomorrow. But then the first capital wasn't actually deployed until September 20th, I think. So we went a month without actually deploying capital. We didn't even know if the ENF was going to get consensus and pass. So once that happened, everything moved really fast. But we have some comms planned for tomorrow to do a look back on the last year and a look forward at where we're at now. And that's part of this conference. Schedule is a big part of that, because a year ago, like I said, EOS was dead. And it didn't just start a year ago. It was a slow, painful process. But EOS did not have a presence in the wider like Web3 space. You couldn't go to any event in Asia, North America, Europe. EOS would be nowhere to be found. Ever since the EOSIO ended, there was no presence. We did some community conferences ourselves as the EOS community, but EOS itself never had a presence at the largest events in the world. And now, only 1 year into the community coming together to agree on this thing we call the ENF to exist and kind of be the stewards for the network, we have 12 plans, and some of them have 40,000 people in attendance. We have developer workshops planned at some of them. Some of them are large tech conferences, even outside of Web3. And this is just something that it didn't exist. Like this is the new EOS, because none of this happened before. Even during the EOSICO, like they did conferences, but it wasn't to this level. Ideally, with this framework that we're putting in place for Europe with the Zysan team, Zysan's convenient because they're a coalition of OG block producers and they're widely distributed across Europe. So it's just very convenient that they're the first go-to-market team that we're going to leverage. And then we're also doing things independently in Asia. Eve will be up at developer conference in Korea, and then we'll be going straight to Singapore. And that's being organized by us aside from Zysan. But what we're trying to do is put this framework in place, this Q4 coming up, Q3 and Q4. But once that framework's in place, we have a framework in place, we have the messaging nailed down, we have all the marketing materials printed, we have artwork and concepts for the booths themselves. Once we have that framework, it's go time next year. Next year, we could tackle all of the rest of the world, because we don't have any North America plan, for example, for the rest of 2022. But I'm just super excited that it's all part of the new EOS.